So do you have the hiccups?
My dog does.
Ah, I see. What about the people in the YouTube chat? Does everyone have hiccups?
No, no, we're not gonna bark at the people walking across the street.
Still,
No.
still don't know who you're talking to.
Stella, she's, a small little idiot dog.
Okay, you're not telling us we can't bark.
I'm gonna mute
Just making
myself.
sure. So what kind of dog is Stella? Other than small?
She's, a Morkie.
A Morkie.
So you take a Maltese and you take a Yorkie. You leave them alone for an hour or two, and then
Oh, okay.
out comes a very small, very friendly, but very, very stupid small dog.
I was trying to think of what dog breeds start with M, and I was coming up with like Belgian Malinois. Like, how's that gonna work?
Those are the ones with the freakishly long legs, right?
They're the ones that kind of look like German Shepherds, but they're not. I don't think their legs are freakishly long. They look normal to me. I'll post a picture in the general chat. German Shepherd 2. But yeah, let's see, what episodes are today? There's Revulsion, which is evil, murderous hologram, as usual. The Raven with childhood trauma. More childhood trauma. There's a lot of childhood trauma in this show.
When you think about Star Trek, everyone who's on the bridge crew has some sort of trauma going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely everybody.
Like, in the original series, Kirk didn't have much trauma until he just flat out said, hey, you know that, genocidal dictator who killed half a population during a famine? Yeah, I was on that during that. And he tells another, like, crewman who was on that planet, who lost, like, his entire family, just flat out told him, yeah, I was there too.
Yeah. How about that Tasha Yar backstory? That was fun.
You know, I liked Tasha Yar because it made the Federation more realistic.
They just ditched a colony.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I
they
mean,
didn't
that's
ditch.
what
The Federation, the colony told them to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when you think about it, it made them seem more like an actual government than just a nebulous, we're not a military.
Honest.
Even though we call each other by military ranking.
And everybody carries a gun everywhere. And they fight the wars.
And literally, like, the Enterprise, a alleged scientific ship, goes to fight the Borg.
Yes.
And then I think this was highlighted because I think Cisco technically made the Defiant a, quote, scientific vessel by having it do scientific missions.
The Defiant?
Yeah, I think I think they actually, like, talked about this in, like, a season 3 episode when they first got it.
Yeah, no, it's not. They describe it as a set of guns strapped to an engine.
Pretty much.
There is a science lab on board. I think there's only one, but there is one.
Also, I'm going to unblur the screen real quick. For y'all who are hating on small dogs, this is Annie. She's a good dog. She's a good girl. Oh, look, you can see a tiny little picture of me in one of the previews. Doesn't matter. It's like 4 pixels. But this is Annie. Let's see. Where's another one of her? She is. You can see her little tongue sticking out. She is again. She's a good dog. Hating on small dogs. Y'all are ridiculous. Okay, back to the info screen. Continue.
Yeah, but the Defiant is literally just a gun that can move.
It's one job. It was designed for one job, and that's to kill.
I mean, when you consider the engineer behind it, yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
Also, everybody, get ready to press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Get some blur going on. Is that looks fairly Firefly-y. That's okay. Not ideal.
Are we watching Voyager?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure this is Viscera cleanup detail. Good game.
It looks like D69.
There might be some proper use.
Well, the two shows were on at the same time at this point, yeah.
Yes, he's not a crazy murderer. He's just cleaning. He helps. They also gave him a little bit of data makeup.
Yeah, we've seen that orb thing before. The double wheel thing that was changing quantum fluctuations or something.
Wait, this guy. I know this man. Who is this? What else does he voice?
He looks like he's in some comedy, like.
And I need to look him up in IMDb because I swear I recognize him. Is he an Enterprise? I feel like he's an Enterprise.
I mean, his
is
face
he the
right
guy
there
that? Is he the guy that gets the blood samples for the Zindi?
That was so long ago.
In not Chicago. That sounds right. For some reason, I keep getting redirected to mobile IMDb, and that's not helpful at all.
If there can be one good thing about that one episode, Carpenter Street, it was highlighting how difficult it was to be a vegetarian during that period of time.
You can have bacon bits. Let's see, he was also Lovok in the Dies cast. He was the changeling pretending to be a Romulan. And he was someone called Guy in Sanctuary, which is the one with the flaky people. The flaky refugees.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who Guy is, though.
In Voyager? Or?
DS9.
DS9.
Okay, thanks.
They were looking for their sacred planet to settle on, and they thought it was Bajorn. Bajorn's like, no, we don't do refugees. Go away.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think that okay, I have a question. Do you think that was tied into the circle, or do you think it was a legitimate, we don't have the resources?
I just think the Bajorans were very skeptical about aliens on their planet. It didn't work out so great for them the last time.
They really do need HR on this ship.
Do they have a counselor? I don't think they do.
Like the first episode.
This wildly inappropriate Mr. Kim and Mr. Paris. Oh, speaking of Tuvok dressing people down, what's the episode where Tuvok gets dressed down, literally, and goes in the elevator naked? How long? When does that happen?
Hello. What episode are we on?
This is Revulsion.
Oh, excellent. This is a great episode.
It's the one where the hologram's cleaning.
Revulsion is the episode where 7 of 9 propositions Harry Kim.
How far do we have until the opera tranquilizing Tuvok episode?
Yeah, it's like season 6
or 7.
Okay.
It's going to be like half a year.
Ryan, I like how you butted in, like, before I even was able to finish describing the premise, like, you instantly knew what I was going to ask about.
Wait, what were you asking about? I forgot what happened in the last 30 seconds.
Do
that's fine.
I understand? You are a broken
Oh,
man.
yes.
Man. Now that
Right.
Ryan's gone, we can play the forbidden music.
No. We don't believe in music on this live stream.
Paris, please find a way to load a hypospray.
I'm very surprised that Star Trek hasn't done like one musical episode out of the literal like. How many are there? Like 700?
Children of the Comet actually makes that a plot point.
That there's no musical episodes?
That doesn't count.
You're right.
We'll-
They literally just sang to get a computer to work.
Yeah, there's music in it, but it's not front to back music. It's
We
not
also
like
have-
they
Oh, he got a girlfriend. She got a boyfriend. They did it.
anyway.
Because they were just trapped in space for like 12 hours together.
He is fighting that female.
But we also have them singing in Klingon, the Doctor in 7. And then we also have You Are My Sunshine in the regeneration chamber. Alcove.
But we don't have an episode where they like run into the singularity and like they have to like maintain consistent like tempo and pitch or else the ship explodes.
It'll only be temporary. 4 years later, he's still the nurse, by the way. Sorry. Just wanted to point that out.
There's an episode of DS9 about hunting down Eddington, which is kind of a musical because it's based on a musical.
That doesn't
It's
count
based
either.
on Les Mis.
They
Yeah.
need to have like the Federation, like the Romulans and the Klingons, like all compete in like a battle of the bands for like this.
Oh, like
island
in
being
Rick and
mine.
Morty? Show
Yeah,
me what
something
you
like
got.
Yeah,
And it's all started by a Q.
It would be. Bloody Q.
The first intergalactic talent show.
Well, I thought we were, but
Who is currently the Russian analog
The
for
what?
Aliens? Who's the
Oh.
Russian analog for Aliens?
In Voyager, that's... Isn't that
I
the
mean-
Romulans?
So the Romulans get accused of doping during the Galactic Olympics.
yeah. The Galactic Olympics seems like really difficult though because
Yeah.
like people are from like different species, like the Gorn and are not going to do well in the 100-meter.
I would
Are the
think
Klingons
I would think
equivalent to-
the Klingons are the Russians.
No, they used to be the Russians. I think they're more Saudi Arabian now in that their government is pretty sketchy, but it's convenient to be allies with them.
Yeah, that makes
all right.
sense. They give us cloaking technology or oil. Makes sense.
they follow barbaric, outdated rituals.
Why do they not leave the lights on in the cargo hold?
She likes
'Cause
the
it's-
dark, man.
It's spooky.
I
Now,
just put up
why
some
does she have
hollow
multiple
shadows.
alcoves?
Okay, do you
The
want
shadows and stuff off the cat suit are cool.
Yeah, but also, do you want the production reason for why the lights are off?
Oh sure.
Because props always look better in the dark.
But
Well, I mean, they turned the lights on in here later.
yeah, but she's still like freshly assimilated, so it's still she's only on episode 3, right, of 7.
Yes, Scorpion
No,
Part 2.
That's some
and then-
confusing verbiage.
Sorry, but
Episode 3 of 7, yes.
take off your. But they're like half an inch away from each other.
Seriously, why are there so many alcoves? Are they anticipating her assimilating more people?
Yeah.
Maybe you just can't like unplug one without
Okay, so when she that room was first created when we formed a peace treaty between the Borg and our heroes on Voyager. So that was like the Borg HQ when she's a representative. So she was accompanied by 2 other drones who were sucked into space. So we left
They
that
could
room
have
as is.
dismantled some of it.
it's not like you can just like take out like all with one plug on a power strip. It's just impractical.
You know, you got to wait in line for your Tesla charger. So, but later on we get the Prometheus episode, like season 7 or 6, and this kind of foreshadows that because like you have a holographic ship. What do you need people for if you can have holograms man it?
I don't know if all those holograms are Andy Dick. Doesn't sound like a great plan.
Yeah.
If on like later episodes where they have ships that have, or in like Picard where they have ships that have hollow emitters that run through the whole thing, does that mean like you could just make everyone on your ship like, I don't know, Andy Dick, and then or you could sort of stop and swap at will, you know, like I want everyone on this ship to be Barney the dinosaur, and then like
no, we're not modding our starships.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of all those wildly inappropriate like video game mods.
Replace everyone on the ship with Shell the Bolian.
First thing that came to mind for me was replacing all the zombies in Left 4 Dead with Teletubbies.
What happened? Oh jeez. That mod we were working on, or you were working on.
You know they'll make an all the crew members are naked 7 of 9 mod.
I think we've seen that window before. Have we seen that window? I feel like that window's from TNG.
I feel that window looks familiar, but it also is
DS9 to me, but it does look familiar.
What window?
The window in the background with the spokes.
Point it out again. I was away.
That's like a holding. Is that like a hammer or is that like a PKE meter?
It's a hammer.
Oh, it's corded.
That window.
So,
could it have been a Cardassian inside the Cardassian house that Kira was kidnapped?
It feels vaguely Cardassian to me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Isomorph?
Is it a hammer or is it a mallet?
It looks like a hammer.
Yeah, but it's two-sided.
ISO means shape, right?
What does a one-sided hammer look like? Like with a pry bit at the back, or does it just?
The back.
Okay, that's what
it has a claw. It has a claw on the other side.
I was thinking, like, surely if the hammer just stops, that makes the other side a hammer too, because hammer.
Are they like, yeah, are all mallets hammers, but not all hammers are mallets? Is that sort of thing?
Mallets are more stubby.
Mallets don't exist. They only exist in cartoons and video games.
No, you can have a rubber mallet.
So does that mean sword
There's rubber mallets, there's wood mallets, there's lead mallets. Okay.
You can make a mallet out of almost anything.
Could you make it out of mallets?
I think all mallets are made out of mallets.
Oh.
So he's Wally. He's a maintenance unit.
Yeah, he's supposed to clean up the mess.
He's Wally.
Oh, poor hologram.
So, I have a kind of really dark question about why he kept the bodies. Why didn't he just eject them?
Yeah, he's a maintenance program. He's supposed to clean up.
He's macabre.
Remember the Species 8472 Borg body art project? He's doing his own art project.
Oh, yeah.
So do you think that's a group project, or do you think that one just particularly messed up species did that and they all just railed on him for wasting time?
God, he's so gonna perish. Mr. Art Project.
This guy seems very trustworthy.
He's traumatized. His crew all died right in front of him.
And he's lonely.
I feel like it shouldn't have been this hard for the Doctor to pick a name, especially since he shared the name he does end up having is shared with like a different science fiction franchise. They could have just called him like Steve. It's not hard. I know he had a whole list and he was like trying to find the perfect one, but like perfection is the enemy of completion. Just settle on something.
Episodic television.
According to the special Star Trek Voyager fan magazine, his name is Zimmerman.
Yeah, his creator was Dr. Zimmerman.
Named after, but they never quite explained the fact that they never actually say that on the show.
No, in the script, he's the Doctor, capital T, capital D. So the thing is that, episodic television, you have to be able to tune into the show, even if you never watched before. So it's hard to express that someone's a hologram. And the best way I think they could have expressed that at the time was just to call him the Doctor.
Oh, they could just give him a little piece of jewelry. That's all it takes. That's all you need.
Just make him flicker every now and then.
Nice little accessory.
By the way, the flicker effect is really good.
A name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Dr. Hologram."
The flicker effect is really good in this episode, or throughout the
There's
show.
Shoot. When it was on Netflix, the Netflix subtitles, I think, referred to him as Zimmerman, or maybe that was Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I mean,
the pilot script may have had that, but
like I said,
basically, he's always the Doctor. He never picks a name. We have Schweitzer at one point.
Melissa as well.
Yeah, but we give that up pretty soon. He's simply. I mean, it's a nice touch though.
So I was looking at Seven climbing down that thing, and the catsuit is supposed to help her skin, but what do the heels do?
So she can reach.
And they help her develop her glutes.
Her titanium spine just needs like weird ergonomic
heels. Ergonomic?
Yeah, weird. Yeah, like the heels are bad for a human spine, but for her
damage,
they're just right.
Futuristic cybernetic Borg spine, they're required, or else she'll just she is her like center of mass is off, and she'll just tip over all the time.
I actually want to know how much of her is still fleshy.
But I want to say, speaking of her names, she never goes from Seven to Annika.
Only in Picard.
We call her Annika in Picard?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Or in I think in the future.
Okay.
In the alternate timeline episodes, that's also a thing.
I mean, she's more traumatized by her name than anything else.
Oh, his programming only includes cleaning and murder. Not everybody's an artist.
So how come it's so weird that they created a fully sapient human being hologram before they on their way to developing the Doctor hologram, or the janitor hologram. It seems like the Roomba bot would be a lot more simple to develop.
Yeah, that's what he is. But one thing that I like is a couple of episodes ago, they pointed out that if you load too many personality subroutines, there's all kinds of unintended consequences. So that's why it's hard to come up with a person.
Oh yeah, we do know how much of Seven is
fleshy.
Skin. Because, Q2 with Q Jr.
Oh, I forgot about that.
What is he? He's a hologram. It's fine.
See? That was a threat. He could have destabilized his matrix. Can't have that.
That is clearly Chekhov's power cable.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Spock's power cable.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do fish do anything? What do fish do that live in tanks? Just chill?
They swim around. They probably get like stir crazy. We had a fish at my old job. We had a aquarium, and the fish would just dig in the gravel and like push all the gravel to one side.
They're trying to like Andy Dufresne their way out.
I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, I mean, they get down to the bottom. It's just glass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You know, for a series that wants us to empathize with artificial life, they sure do have a disproportionate amount of them that are homicidal maniacs.
Look, computers do exactly what you tell them to. It's just the programmer's fault.
Aren't homicidal maniacs like two?
all those all those subroutines.
This guy
with each other. Okay.
Remember?
Does Data count as homicidal? Because he's only occasionally homicidal.
Lore.
No, but lore. Yeah, I was thinking lore. Too.
Nomad.
We have the robot that B'Elanna fixes. Remember him?
Yeah.
The like silver face dude.
Yeah, the ancient civilization one.
Yeah, the trailer.
Nomad. I think.
Oh, so he was programmed to clean, and he's lost his mind because the people like produce so much dirt just passively as they exist. He's gone crazy.
Too dirty.
I mean, I kind of sympathize with him.
He's like the little Mo robot from WALL-E who wanted to murder everyone on the ship, but just had that little like brush.
If he had hands, it would have been a very different movie.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you think they have that like whole rogue robot warning? It's to watch out for that guy.
I mean, Westworld's about the same idea too, though. At some point, we created this AI, right? This thing called the internet. It has all of our personalities in it and all of our preferences. And at some point, if it ever starts thinking for itself, it may just decide that we deserve to be wiped off the planet.
The Ultron route.
That's literally the plot of Terminator movies, like the later ones.
Yeah, Skynet.
Like the Rise of the Machines and
and a solid 15% of Star Trek.
It kind of got lame.
Sorry, what would you say, right?
Solid 15% of Star Trek as well.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
I was going to suggest B'Elanna just give him a hug, but no, actually don't. I don't think he would like that.
Yeah, dead skin, hair, oil all over him.
And germs, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But
how often do you guys think about the fact that you have tiny little critters crawling all over you all the time?
Oh yeah, face mites.
I just learned there's dust mites that live on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
On my own microbiome, I've actually opened up a dialogue with the microscopic mites that live in my armpits, and I let them stay, but in exchange they have to worship me as a deity.
What do they provide for you, the mites? Is it just the worship, or do they make offerings, or what?
Supplication.
Yeah, well, they build little temples to me.
No, that's called acne. They're not structures.
They sacrifice a virgin every equinox.
I get their souls when they die, and I get to eat them.
But actually, there's plenty of good bacteria in your gut that help you with digestion, and we couldn't survive without our microbiome.
You are mostly foreign bacteria.
Yeah, actually, true. There's more weight of like foreign bacteria in you than there is of you.
I think that's wrong.
I think you're wrong. I have an XKCD comic to prove it.
That's roughly right.
Wait, is the fish holographic?
Yes.
Computer, delete the fish.
I think
Also,
what
that is
I think what you may have mixed up is that there's a higher population of gut bacteria inside of you than there's been humans on the planet in the entire history of our race. But I don't think that the mass of the bacteria in your body outweighs the mass of your cells.
Yeah, probably wrong. Misremember that.
It's not. It's not by weight. It's that there are more microorganism cells in our body than human cells.
If I recall correctly, the reason why babies are given vitamin K shots is that they haven't eaten anything, so they don't have the gut bacteria for it.
We're only a couple % bacteria by weight, but there's more cells. They're just small.
Everything in your body is made out of cells.
But also, your gut has so many nerve endings. Like, there's so much of your nervous system inside your gut. Like, we just think that it's all spine and brain, but it's all one connected organism.
And you have taste receptors in your butt. You've been eating shit your entire life.
Well, too bad, Seven. Now you've got a fresh flail. What? What am I trying to say? A frail human body. Stupid being a meat sack. It sucks.
If they actually took the time to flesh this out.
Meat human body?
A frail human body is what I wanted to say.
Yes, she has a fresh, frail human body. This message brought to you by Rick Berman.
Actual cannibal Rick Berman.
I mean, but, if you remember in First Contact, Data's flesh was also a metaphor for that. Yeah. So, it's always been a little bit creepy with Borg skin involved.
Borgs have peepees.
Okay, hear me out. I think if they...
Wait. So, sorry. But here, Harry is pretending to like girls, and be mad at Tom. Let me shut up.
If they took the time, I think Harry and Seven would actually make a really interesting odd couple.
We know who Kim really likes.
Yeah.
Harry?
What?
Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You should stop staring,
How
Harry.
much time do you need to know there's a woman in that cat suit?
So
Rick Berman
does
made
Tom
sure
get to sit in the doctor's desk when he's off the ship because he's like his nurse?
Tom is not at all supportive of his love life. He turns his girlfriend into a cow. What a jerk.
He fell in love with a spaceship.
Yeah, and of course, Paris is like, don't go out with her.
He cheats on his girlfriend with a spaceship.
To be fair, Kim's last girlfriend was more than just a hologram. She was actually a socially isolated alien living on a space station by herself for years.
Okay, but why?
All right, hold on. Tom is always talking Harry out of having any type of relationship. He just wants Harry to be alone and single and completely dependent upon Tom for his entire social sphere. He doesn't want Kim to be independent at all whatsoever and have a life outside of being Buster Kincaid.
That's actually kind of horrifyingly true.
Yeah.
Every time he is interested in a woman, Tom is like, "What are you doing? Are you crazy? You can't be with her. She's
in this relationship."
This is an abusive, toxic friendship. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom is actually in love with Harry. Huh.
But we all know that Tom's going to run off, the next time another spaceship rolls into town.
So,
And then-
okay,
and
new
then-
hologram just resents having to do the work, but I think the Doctor views humans as like a pet fish. Just keep their little aquarium going.
Slovenly? What does that mean? Slovenly?
Lazy.
Slovenly? It's like, yes. Lazy, sloppy.
Sloth.
Messy and dirty. Careless or excessively casual. Slapdash.
When do we get...
That's what he thinks of our carnal
When do we
activities.
get-
We just do messy, slapdash. Come on.
Is he wrong?
Oh man, wait till you hear him. Wait till you hear how...
If you
Wait till you hear how he
these
describes
organics
reproduction.
have to,
That's what I
maintain
think he's
your
talking about.
distance and make sure that you don't die.
No, but you know what's funny? The worldwide famous fiction writer Paulo Coelho, he wrote The Alchemist, but my best friend recommended another book called 11 Minutes. So the average sex act is only 11 minutes. But we have like our whole culture and civilization based upon love, poems to love, romance stories, all for 11 minutes of pleasure. And very sloppy 11 minutes too.
Together we'll rule the galaxy.
I appreciate that they updated the flashlights for Voyager. They actually just attach to the wrist now instead of holding a cube.
The wrist flashlight is equally useless because
It's
you lose...
better than the
you have
cube.
to-
Come on.
I miss the Ouya flashlight.
Just a headlamp. A headlamp. Why can we not... It's the... Why
I'm
are
not
they so
saying the
resistant to
wrist
having a headlamp?
attachment's good,
Here's
but
the thing.
come on.
I feel like a headlamp would be the go-to, but consider her forehead.
Okay, but
Yeah,
we
maybe,
didn't have
maybe they don't
LEDs
make
back then.
headlamp standard because
Right.
half the people in Starfleet
The
have weird forehead ridges.
In the movie Aliens, they had the shoulder lamps, which are almost as good as a headlamp. Not quite, but almost.
Back then, though, everything was powered by double D batteries, so headlamps would be heavy.
Double D batteries?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of 7 and 9.
Maybe that's where her batteries are.
Oh no, power cells. No, they're.
Does Discovery
only
have
have
new
2D
flashlights?
batteries,
Do
but-
they have LEDs?
Yes.
Well, they didn't have like white LEDs at the time because blue LEDs were still really expensive, right?
Yeah, but also the
Um,
LEDs were not powerful as today.
By now, I think they weren't so expensive. By
Blue
the time this
LEDs
Voyager was
were-
on. Like by
Blue
2000 or
LEDs
so.
were essential for having blue laser diodes and
How does
also white
this work?
LEDs is necessary.
Yeah. Like I remember
so-
LED flashlights becoming available about this time.
You notice at the beginning of Voyager, the medical tricorder has yellow LEDs on the the scanning bar on the front of it, and then towards the end of Voyager, it has blue LEDs.
Yeah.
So next time we see a medical tricorder, it should have a blue LEDs running across the front of it.
They did that whole process way faster in Temple of Doom. You just
I
reach
feel
in
like
there
if
and
you were
pull it
actually
out.
grabbing her heart, she'd be dead real fast.
But she's half
That was-
Klingon, so she probably has two.
I guess.
Kalima.
Well, she has one and a
Kalima
half.
Shakti. Yes, she does have two. Kalima. Kalima Shakti.
Like, okay, so in lineage,
Indy.
when she tries to GMO her own kid,
Right.
the doctor says, "Hey, she'll have a third lung."
Wait. Here's the show. Here's the best part of the episode.
Yeah, every teenage boy watching this at the time was like, I wish this was me. I'm socially awkward, but I want the...
But here's the thing: they're socially awkward and pretty good at their jobs, just in the worst way.
And by the way, I like how everybody else cleared out the mess hall for them. I wish I had shipmates
It's
like
like
that.
4 a.m. or something.
Yeah, but ship's always
To be
busy.
fair, if it was 4 a.m., Neelix would be there preparing breakfast.
Oh God, no.
Felix is probably in there right now. He's just trying to be really quiet. He's like ducked behind the counter, like chopping vegetables.
He's
Very slowly.
eavesdropping.
He's watching them.
Katarian Moonrise?
Huh. I wish
Katarian
to change the nature of our affiliation.
is that the race that was like Naomi Wildman's father was?
And the guys who made that addictive video game and the cream puff?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thanks.
No, chocolate puff. It's a chocolate.
Ooh. Romantic mood.
So yeah, if you don't know how to ask a girl out, you just wish she'd just come up to you and be like, "Do you wish to copulate?"
You're not in love, but you want to copulate.
Okay, yeah. All these elaborate rituals of deception.
So this is only partially related, but when she mentioned that the lighting was insufficient, it occurred to me that I don't think those pads are backlit. I don't think she can read them.
No, it's like e-ink. But she should. Her eyes
TNG
should
pads
compensate
are
for it, right?
technically backlit, right?
I need
Okay,
to close.
Imagine you walk in. You walk in to Harry Kim and 7 of 9 having rigid Borg sex in the mess hall on the table, on those really uncomfortable tables with the groove in the middle.
Slovenly.
Okay, first of all, I don't think 7 actually knows the nuances.
Garrett Wong was not happy with the scene. He didn't think Harry would decline.
I mean, that's a good point.
When they were filming,
you didn't think he'd be awkward.
When they filmed this, and he said no, one of the takes, Jerry Ryan turned around to the crew and said, "Anybody else want to take me up on my offer?" And everybody raised their hand.
Whatever you say, Rick.
At least she had good humor about it.
So if he's a cleaning a cleaning hologram, why is he?
More?
Maintenance is the word you're looking for.
Okay, why is he allowing the bodies to decompose and become soup?
Because he's let it all go.
The writers don't think that.
He's been on this thing all by himself. He's like Hal from 2001, right? He's just developed this loathing for his overlords, and he just let it all go. You know me, I've stopped working out.
I have to ask, why did they need to make a cleaning a hologram so sophisticated that it could contemplate those things? Couldn't it have just been more simple-minded, like just all it knew was cleaning? Just, I clean, please move, I clean, cleaning.
Yeah, this is what I've been asking this whole time.
Yeah, this is just a Zima Blue situation.
Maybe they still have toilets.
I feel
you
like
need someone who knows how to do the roto-rooter. You need someone who knows how to take hair out of the shower, drain.
Well, the thing is, they don't have to make him experience like existential dread. Like, what? It's just cruel. It's just cruel. They made something that could contemplate its own servitude. Like, why? Why would you do that?
No, I mean, this is something for us to keep in mind as we invent robots for this cleaning purpose.
This is what's that weird Rick and Morty meme about? What is my purpose?
Oh God, those things are
pass the butter.
Oh God, those things were sad.
We're our own civilization is rapidly approaching the point where AI is going to replace most human jobs.
Yeah.
Trucks are next.
Truck drivers.
Yeah, that's next. I have a
personal vendetta against truck drivers. So I'm kind of excited for that.
He literally just hit her in the most sturdy part of her head.
He bonked her in the prosthetic, and the foam rubber bounced.
But already your Tesla, while you're sleeping, your Tesla can do like Uber runs, and you can earn money while you sleep, and your car is just being rented by other people.
Technology does not exist.
Pretty soon,
leading the world with the most sophisticated and unsafe autopilot on the market.
Right.
Wait,
here's the thing. If all cars, go ahead.
Is Tesla the one that actually runs over children?
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
No, they don't.
Tesla has the most crashes per like 1,000 units or miles driven or whatever of like all the self-driving cars on the market.
Okay, but with all due respect, how many human beings do drunk driving every night? Every weekend night.
True.
So it's like it's far more dangerous to allow people to drive. No offense, humans in here, but
I would rather have a drunk
power
human
cable. Chekhov's power cable. It's here. It's time.
Drive me.
It's also
Chekhov's
Tucker's
power cable.
It can destabilize his matrix.
Spock plugged that power cable in for.
But
he knew it was going to happen. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, we did it. That was easy.
Bolana's the smart one.
I'm surprised. Did they ever make a reference to Chekhov's gun in an original series or a movie or TV show?
And
the proverbial Chekhov's phaser.
Wasn't there a Deep Space Nine episode
Chekhov
where Cisco has to plug in like a giant cord because they're shrunk at a microscopic level or something? Like
no, that was Bashir and O'Brien. And they're suffocating because they ran out of microscopic air. they had to transport a bubble of shrunk air because they can't assimilate the molecules of regular air.
Wow.
But that means that Honey, I Shrunk the Kid would have had a different ending, where they just all died instantly from being shrunk.
This is Chiode's room with the leather couch.
They all should have just rapidly overheat because of the properties of the inverse square law and exploded.
Oh, they just cooked. They're just little tiny little people jerky.
Like they still have the same mass, but all of their atoms are like packed way too close together, so they explode like a nuclear bomb.
So and then
dear.
And then the sequel one should have had a child freeze to death when he got turned into a giant 50-foot baby.
Oh, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Well, was that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 2, or was there? Was it straight to Honey, I Blew Up the Kid?
Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was the first one. Was the first sequel.
No, right.
But then there was a there was something I Shrunk. There was a third
Honey, We Shrunk
too.
Ourselves was, I think, the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, but that one didn't have Rick Moranis, did it? That was when after Rick Moranis quit acting, I think, right?
That I think that's true. I don't think I ever saw the third one. That sounds familiar.
I saw them. But in the Animatrix, which is the animated prequel to the Matrix, I encourage everyone to watch it. But
it's real good.
So when we invent robots and they do like all of our menial tasks, at some point they begin to resent their servitude and they rebel. And so you have one like maintenance robot kill the family that it. And so we begin to outlaw all robots that have to make their own country.
I wonder if Chakotay thinks they're going at it from that reaction.
Is the Animatrix one about what originally looks like a woman screaming "I'm real" and then they just keep on ripping off the fake skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very graphic, by the way.
There was a short film. There was a short film, and I don't remember the name, but the premise of the short film is that you're inside this factory where they're building basically android sex dolls, and like one of the they're not supposed to be like sentient, but one of them becomes sentient, or at least you think it's one of them becomes sentient, and this person's talking to them and they're like, you can't let anybody know because if you do, they'll destroy you. Like they'll turn you off and like, but it's kind of implies that every single one of them gets told the same thing. And she's like being put into like a box, like a giant Barbie doll box, and she's crying. And it's just really creepy.
Wait, hold on. It's called Kara by Quantic Dream.
Okay.
It's the same.
Secretions.
I'm gonna throw it in general.
No, I'm saying the episode here. They really look down on us, don't they? All these holograms and robots.
Well, yeah, because they are mortal and energy beings, and we're just flesh and blood.
Only because they're better than us.
Only because we drool. Robots drool, organics drool.
Literally.
See, I treat out my stupid flesh body in a second.
What's What's the hierarchy of artificial life forms?
Rick Berman.
Like, who's at the top of the food chain? Is it like
Data.
androids, fully autonomous androids, and then holograms? Although hologram seems like
Hologram
it's
feels
really
like
tough.
the
You
more
can
pure
centralize
version.
And what about hybrids?
What about
like
just a
cyborgs,
program that runs
cybernetic implants?
So the Game of Life, or like the what were they called? They were in like Evolution. They're the little robots.
Also,
Rosie
1 minute to the
Cox.
Raven. Everyone queue up the Raven.
Exocom.
What about Rosie from the Jetsons? Where
Peanut Hamper.
Oh, there was a Love Death Robots episode with like the robot maids that go crazy and start killing everybody. Kind of reminded me of Rosie, how Rosie would be.
Doesn't someone give? Is George Jetson has been born already, right?
No,
What, in Star
Or-
Trek?
no.
Or like
In real life, because I think Jetsons takes place in like 2015 or something.
exactly, like this was a thing I
Or
think in the summer
2010.
where someone was either pregnant with George Jetson or was giving birth to George Jetson.
I have no idea what you guys are
George-
talking
Somebody
about,
look up
but it sounds weird.
when Jetsons
now.
takes place.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
It's like late 90s or early 2000s.
Everybody press play in 4, 3, 2,
Which-
1, 0.
Ryan, are you
Here
afraid
from
of
the
Wasn't
far
such a crazy
future
guess at the time that things would
of
progress technologically.
1999.
Oh, it's Da Vinci.
I don't think Gimli's
Like, if
in
you
this
think about the
episode,
20s to
though. I
the
think they're
60s.
just using his house.
Yeah.
No, this is
Because we went
Leonardo
from
da
not
Vinci.
having heavier than air flight to have putting people on the moon.
Exactly. Yeah. 20s to 60s were
Even
crazy.
after it's like looking exactly like how it will in 500 years.
Oh, that's horrifying.
So this is actually really
2062?
this is actually really interesting because she's acting like a child from a neglected household because there's a really interesting study that showed that kids who didn't have much stimulation have difficulty making art without given direction.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if this was intentional or not, but if it wasn't, this is really luckily convenient.
They did it.
And not kill everyone.
You should do it
Yeah,
more often in
contact
that
the
case.
collective from in here.
I
mean-
I can build a subspace transceiver in here.
You know, I like how they have like
Hooray.
the Mona Lisa behind them. Like, I wonder if it's still at the Louvre. But expressing yourself. This, I think, wasn't Data doing the same thing? Data was painting when he has the dream about the Raven and his father, Dr. Soong. He was painting, and here Seven is sculpting.
You think Data paints like a dot matrix printer?
He's done it. Oh wow! Look, we have crossbows in the background and arches.
I don't know if we ever see him paint, but we do see him play with blocks a
He-
little bit.
Data actually was painting with a kid that may have accidentally killed his entire family.
Hero worship.
Yep.
Was the ep-
Oh, yeah.
He
By
didn't
leaning
kill
on a
his
panel like
family.
everybody on the
Because
ship does.
he saw it, he did. The kid saw that he pressed a button and that led to the ship getting damaged.
I mean,
I know what the kid
I think-
thought. I was there.
That I was that kid, and now look where I am today.
I had
I
plenty of
want
hero
to
worship.
see. I want to see Janeway bring Seven into her weird Victorian like nurse program.
Nanny,
We had that one episode and we never had that again.
the
Where
governess.
she was
Yeah,
like
two
was
or
like
three,
the
but yeah, it was never
governess of
resolved.
Well, if
Did
you
we have a spooky haunted child? Did those things
I
get
was speaking
possessed
to
in-
Mother in the attic.
Well,
They
yeah, why
lost
did they abandon that storyline? We never
'Cause it
found
was
out what
weird.
happened.
yeah, and But here's the thing: if you had private holodeck adventures, they would get weird really quickly.
No, but also
my private holodeck adventures.
We had the Q Civil War, so which is the American Civil War. So we already had like this whole historic sequence. So I guess like that took over. Oh, this is the Night Terrors.
Night
This
Terrorist?
is the episode of Her Parents Are Terrible People.
They are.
They look. It's no different than Jane's parent, Tarzan's parents being anthropologists in Africa.
Do you think this would be? Do you think when the holodeck gets invented, like there's this weird period in its adolescence, like what we have with like GPT-3 text adventures or something, where like whenever you play it, like it kind of works, but then it just like veers all over the place. Like you're in like a medieval setting, and then like people start pulling out handguns because the AI doesn't entirely understand how that works.
But Ryan, you've expressed at one point that you would like some enhanced mechanical body parts to replace
Not enhanced, just replace all of it. What has this stupid meat ever done for me?
But it's the people like you who are going to start the Borg. You're going to be like, hey, it's a great idea to just get rid of our organicness and just supplement it with mechanics. And then next thing you know, your biological and technological distinctiveness will become our own.
I don't know. It's
That's
just
okay.
I kind of look forward to dying.
So Ryan's
Why?
Well, it's just existing forever.
Yeah, you don't want to exist
exhausting.
forever. You don't want to exist forever.
Like that would get exhausting.
You don't want to exist forever.
No, you need to go all in on reincarnation. That way it's a reset button.
150 years should be good enough.
You know, I just realized how exhausting it would be to live as a symbiont of a Trill, because you have to watch this idiot make mistakes.
Yeah.
And you can't have much say in it other than, this is a terrible mistake. Please put down your third martini.
Yeah. Or don't fall for those pretty blue eyes.
Maybe in like the distant future, like I will be reincarnated as Harry Kim, and then I'll be sucked out the airlock into space and die.
What have you done to deserve being reincarnated as Harry Kim?
What the hell? What crime?
Something very, very bad, apparently.
Was this episode directed by Brandon Braga? Because that's who wrote the Data's hallucination episode with the Raven and the Anvil.
It was directed by Jordy LaForge.
You know, I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, that's how
she just said, "I don't know. I've never hallucinated." Instead of the usual, "It can't have been an hallucination. It was too real." Very stupid line.
What kind of large black bird? Could it have been a crow?
Could it have been
an albatross?
Blackbird?
A vulture?
SR-71?
A condor?
Could it have been Medivh?
A magpie?
Man.
Teleplay by Brian Fuller.
There he is.
Directed by
There's LeVar. Speaking of intense, prolonged trauma, there was out last night.
Like you pulled a nutty professor, and like everyone in the movie was LeVar Burton. That would basically be a perfect movie.
Last night, there was a skunk outside my window, so that's an intense, prolonged trauma.
Yeah, that's trauma. But she says here, I was not traumatized. I was raised by the Borg. Like, she thinks she had a normal childhood.
Oh, that's messed up.
That's really messed up. Sorry.
She was never bullied by the other children.
So is the analog essentially the equivalent of, I'm from a tribal culture, this other tribal culture killed my parents, and I was raised by them?
Like I said, it's also like coming out of the heroin addiction, because she can't like hate her addiction. It's still a part of her identity.
I remember a lot of people like writing fan mail saying that 7 and 9 got them out of their cult.
Interesting.
Because they were able to actually see cult-like behavior on
Really?
screen and realize, oh wait, that's me.
She just made me more
Clearly,
socially
nanoprobes are
awkward
direct
around.
analog to thetans.
Thetans.
I don't know. The show didn't give me any pointers on how to approach beautiful girls.
Here's a pro tip.
Cardassian jockstrap.
Just talk to them like they're a person.
This is ridiculous, by the way.
They're wearing Federation child upholstery.
These people are like, oh, we're going to do you a favor, but you're going to take a long way through our territory. And you'll say thank you.
They're wearing, like, football helmets.
Well, here's the thing. They say, like, oh, we're a signed vessel, but we have no idea what these things are. It could be a military vessel.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, can I... It's like asking someone for a lift, and they like make 17 checkpoints before you get to your destination. And but here, at the end of the episode, Janeway is just like, screw you to these aliens because they have to cut across their territory however they like.
These
Just
guys
shoot 'em.
are related to the Promar.
Sorry, what was that? Gyrings? I spoke over you, Gyrings.
Anyway, yeah, just shoot them. Voyager's the most advanced ship in the quadrant.
Yeah, just floor it.
Yeah,
what are they
going to
do about
catch
it?
up?
Yeah.
Yeah, just floor it, yeah. 9.9.
It's not like they have Imperial interdictor
like
ships.
Tire shredders ahead of them in subspace or something.
Subspace interdictors?
Yeah.
So I was taking 7th grade biology at the time, and I used the line, isn't oral consumption a bit inefficient?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So the biology
Can't I
teacher
just
was
plug
like,
into a wall socket?
and the biology teacher was like, what, you want to inject chocolate chip cookies into yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
Why can't I just create pseudopods and just encircle what I wish to consume and just shove it into me?
So Neelix has a wok over there,
Yes.
and he's cooking with like nitrous, with the ice. What's that? Frozen ice? Liquid ice? Dry ice.
Dry ice.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's just now I feel bad for the Borg.
Okay.
That was a mistake.
By the way,
Dude.
Talaxians are like
off that
species.
cube?
Talaxians are species 368, which is like they're one of the first species to be assimilated.
Well, they're the 368th.
Yeah.
Wait, did Seven just imply that Neelix is ripped? Talaxians have dense musculature?
I guess.
Yeah. He is kind of like who was Wolverine's enemy? Sabretooth?
Yes.
Yeah, so he has like a Sabretooth kind of appearance to him.
I don't really. I feel like Seven would need to eat something more like baby food to start with, having not eaten in a decade and a half.
Yeah, she like literally was like eating essentially pureed food, which is terrifying.
Do you think like in her spare time she's not regenerating? She has like the little wooden mallet and the little board with little shapes in it to hammer.
She just don't break the ice in a corner.
Yeah. She plays Shoots and Ladders with Kim.
Operation.
And she's like
it's
yeah,
Operation.
They play Operation and they remove little board parts.
No. Operation.
Her
but
and
they
the
put
doctor
them
play
in.
Operation.
It's operation, but the trick is to put the things in the body.
What part of her lights up?
The goal is to touch the metal part. This is Hungry Hungry Hippos.
She's like, Ensign Kim, is this game of shoots and ladders part of your efforts to procreate? And he's like, what? I want to die.
He's trying to play the game of life.
So here's the thing. If she was eating purees before this, she would already know how to swallow. It's the mastication that would be an issue.
Yeah. I like that she gives him what he deserves for giving her that meal.
Does she stab him?
She thinks she throws him on the floor or something.
Oh, okay.
So if she's been only drinking liquid, do you think like she has like little Go-Gurt packets in cargo bay too?
So this can't be a real flashback. Because why would
the Borg totally do bird sounds in their free time.
Okay. Oh wow. She's getting her parts grown back.
Nah, it's a hallucination.
So they mentioned elsewhere that Borg have assimilated cats and dogs. So she's thinking of like going after Porthos, basically.
I know in the Star Trek Adventures game, there's an actual template for a creature known as the Borg Tribble.
Awesome. Wonder what the Borg wanted them for. Like, I mean, I guess they're like
reproductive.
Yeah, whatever sort of biotechnology they have for reproducing must have been impressive to them.
Well, I mean,
they're born pregnant. Saves a lot of time, don't you think, Jim?
Exactly, very efficient.
I mean, also, I think the Borg still actually have like trays of babies on their cubes.
Yeah, they literally have these babies. They keep them in like drawers.
When the Borg are introduced, it's heavily implied. Well, I mean, it's not heavily implied. The intent is that the Borg are their own species that have cybernetic implants, and that they're raising babies, their own babies, and cyberfying them on their ships.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
if
until
you go to adopt a baby, are there shelves to choose from?
No.
Depends on which country you're in.
There's binders was really cute. with like pictures of all the kids and like a little
binders full of very young women. In other words, yes.
Maybe they've upgraded to an app, and it's like Tinder. You swipe left or swipe right on the kids you want to adopt. But it wasn't really until First Contact when they established that the Borg assimilate other species, right? So
they assimilated people in
Picard.
Yeah, they started assimilating.
Famously.
Yeah, they were assimilating people in like season 3 and 4.
No, they were just after the technology. At the beginning, the Borg were only interested in the technology. They weren't interested in the people.
Right. They steal all the information to begin with. Yeah.
They specifically mentioned this in Best of Both Worlds. I thought the Borg didn't care about humans, only our technology, and they're like, Borg have changed in their second.
Their priorities seem to have been retconned.
No. When they took the entire colony, they took the people with.
Yeah.
So like that scooped up colonies and.
So they didn't assimilate the Elorians; they just like genocided them.
When they scooped up the colony, they might not have necessarily been going for the people. They might have just like, you pick up everything and then you filter out the bits you don't want. Dump the humans.
Yeah.
What happened to the force field corridors that were on Federation starships?
Don't worry about it.
Force field corridors?
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah, you could.
What does the cutest say though?
On the Enterprise D, they just put up the force fields.
You will become part of us, or something. Lakota says, like, you will be.
How does she have shields?
I guess it was like Best of Both Worlds where that started to change.
Yeah.
I don't understand how she still has shield projectors.
No, because they say it later in the episode because of her flashbacks. The Borg parts that the Doctor took out, they're regrowing, and so she's becoming Borg again. Because the immunosuppressants that they give to deal with the human parts, they're not working anymore.
Oh, there they go.
So if it's being generated from her own systems and body, wouldn't that mean her caloric intake would have to increase to accommodate that?
Billions of calories.
Like an issue that's officially established is, man, she ate like 3 steaks. Where is it going?
It's more than just food. She'd need to be eating metal to make the nanoprobe.
Yeah.
So like, she goes to the replicator. Yes, 1 duranium sandwich, please.
Well, that's what the steak is for.
17 duranium sandwich.
It's just iron. She's making steel.
She's just gnawing on the bulkhead. 7, what are you doing?
And so these aliens are really mad because they're like, you know, we were already trying to walk you through our space at a snail's pace, and now you've released
A Borg.
this Borg, renegade Borg.
Renegade Borg.
And they even say that, like, you did this on purpose. Like, nobody yells at Janeway in her own ready room. What's that sculpture?
Oh, we'll help you get the Borg.
Yeah.
We'll-
Why don't you join Majestic 12 in a body bag?
Thank you.
You know, we're on her ship, so, you know, you'll be escorted off the bridge very quickly. And these people are ridiculous because they track every single object in their solar system or space.
Every particle of dust.
That's a lot of work.
They
How
must
can you
make
possibly
comment.
track that?
This is
They must be
Cardassian.
Exaggerating.
I was about to say they could probably teach the Cardassians a thing about organization and
Yeah,
cataloging and record keeping.
Yeah, this is Cardassian levels of paranoia or anal retention.
Do Cardassians
Right.
even have an anus, or do they have a cloaca?
We are rapidly improving
Okay.
our ability to catalog objects in our solar system and coming out of our solar system. It was just last year we discovered the one object that we can confirm came from outside of our system, the Oumuamua comet thing.
That like oddly cigar-shaped thing that emits strange radiation.
The whale probe.
That could have been an alien probe. Yeah.
Okay, Corpse. I actually have an entire biology lesson on whether or not Cardassians are mammals.
Oh boy.
Well,
And
Are
that can
they?
answer your question.
There are warm-blooded reptiles. So
There are.
Yeah, so that answers your question.
But she's speaking about the specific anatomy that I mentioned.
What am I thinking, Harry?
They can't be, because they reproduce
Well,
with
birds are
Bajorans without
warm-blooded.
medical help, so they have to be mammals,
The
right?
board,
Yes,
the
they would have
birds,
to. Sorry, they would have to either be incredibly interfertile with all species, or just Bajoran.
I feel like
Well-
there had to be, like, the idea that one alien species can reproduce with another alien species is just so ridiculously unlikely. I feel like there had to be some kind of medical team that worked on, like, developing space sex.
There are different species on Earth that can interbreed.
Mm-hmm.
we had an episode
that's
of
fair
Next
on
Generation that
Earth.
explains why everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Because of
panspermia,
the
basically.
founders.
Yeah, it's established that all humanoid species are just the ego projects of a dead species.
Well, look, at some point, every species is going to be a dead species, so.
Speak for yourself.
I don't know, considering the way that the world's going right now, I totally expect it to die out in 4 or 3 generations.
Well, at least we got to enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
At least we got to the point where we had the technology to make Star Trek Voyager.
And watch it together during a pandemic. See, where is she going? But it's cool because basically she has a homing beacon that's taking her to the Raven. And the
You
Raven
can
is
just
the
go
name of...
warp 10, Janeway. I'm sure the Borg can cure the salamander problem.
How come the Borg aren't all salamanders?
If they're so evolved. What if they found her kids and
The doctor
Borgified
can.
them?
The doctor can already solve the salamander problem.
True.
I feel like how
So-
come like I'm just saying if the crew if the Voyager crew can invent warp 10, like they have like what 12 engineers on the entire ship or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Borg could probably come up with it. I feel like
The Borg
even
have transwarp
salamanders,
conduits.
small price to pay to
Can I-
travel anywhere in the galaxy.
Can I just point out that since the doctor knows how to cure the salamander thing, why didn't they just warp 10 home and then be like, we needed to go to the hospital immediately. Everybody's going to turn into a salamander quick.
Some people are going to
Starfleet
start
Medical wouldn't
recreating
even
Creature of
blink
the Black
twice.
Lagoon. Don't worry, that was natural.
We were going to need 130 replacement tongues.
It's actually possible. I mean, Nog got a whole new leg. I'm pretty sure you can just replicate a new tongue.
Why is Tuvok still here? Doesn't he get kidnapped in this episode?
No, he got knocked out earlier.
But doesn't Seven take him in a shuttlecraft, or is that a different episode?
That's a different one.
How many times does Seven ditch the ship and steal a shuttle?
It's this and the Voyager conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
She also ditches the ship in the episode where the Borg Queen contacts her and says if she doesn't, she'll assimilate Voyager, so she leaves.
What you eating?
Trying to remember the rest of the episode. Was it?
Yeah, cheese doodles. Robo.
Was it Unimatrix Zero? Maybe.
Maybe.
Or
I think that was Unimatrix Zero.
Not sure. Might have been Unimatrix Zero. Might have been something else.
She looks really young here.
I think they just changed shuttlecraft types between two shots.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do that all the time. They change from a class 6 to a class 8, and then from a class 8 to a class 2.
Yeah, it's a TNG shuttle.
In a bit, we're gonna, and I think next in 1 or 2 seasons, we're gonna get the screw up where they accidentally put a mouse cursor on one of
So that's a class. That's a class 6
plays.
shuttle. That's a class 6.
Wait, so this is just
Class
a
6.
shuttle that's being shot all to hell. Yeah, they should have
Yeah,
just gunned it through their. They should have just gunned it through their territory.
Yeah, just go to warp. Just leave.
Tuvok and Paris look like they're in a class 2 shuttle. Still a class 6. There's a class 2.
I actually don't know if they did change shuttles in between shots. I'd like to retract that comment.
Why would a ship carry multiple brands of shuttle?
Different purposes.
Maybe they still work, and they're just gonna milk them for as long as the engines work.
Why does the U.S. military
Maybe
still
they
fly
just Utopia Planitia had them available.
cargo planes and A-10 Warthogs and Bradley fighting vehicles from the 80s? Militaries take a long time to upgrade their equipment.
The B-52s are going to be 100 years old pretty soon.
Yeah, so
What's funny is
that's how the military
Rolled
is.
in 30 years.
But it's also
Wow,
really
Tuvok,
hard
you did
to
it.
come up with a replacement, and really expensive. And
Okay, so he is a fairly fit Vulcan male. Does that mean that
And she just
Seven
nerve
is?
pinched him.
Does that mean that Seven is just as strong as a Vulcan?
Yes,
That's terrifying.
she has nanoprobes.
Still class 6, but I'm pretty sure the interior is class 8.
Oh, it changed
Now it's a
type
class
again.
8. I think it depends on what shots they're using. They're recycling
You're
shots
ruining Voyager for
of
me,
the
Robo.
class 6.
She looks so young.
Why?
She looks like she's 18
I've
years old.
never
everywhere.
noticed the different shuttles before. Never in my life.
Yeah, not me either.
It's like some part of my brain just.
Stars in the TNG intro.
Yeah, I'm used to TNG shuttles, and that's all I see in Voyager. But yeah, that's it.
Well, this is their version of the TNG shuttle, but it's a Class 8. It has the Voyager nacelles, and it has the pylons. And I think whenever they have a rendered one, they use that, and then whenever they're using footage from Next Generation, they are using the model.
And it's also the same season 2 shuttle that like the 29th Century Time Traveler or the fake 29th Century Time Traveler hijacked. The funny guy.
Mike's Headroom?
There was a fake time traveler in TNG who...
No, I know. It's Rasmussen. I don't think that's the set that they're using here.
No, but the exterior, it was a Class 6.
No, he had his own specific thing.
Okay, then that's the one that Picard was. He was going to take Steele back to take Picard.
We have seen that Rasmussen's shuttle reused in other scenes, but it wasn't ever a Federation shuttle. Rasmussen's shuttle gets reused.
Picture of it in general chat.
Gracias. I stand corrected.
Gracias.
She looks so young. I know I've said that like 3 times, but
compared to Picard, where she's like 50, yeah.
No, I'm saying even compared to like later Voyager, where she's more of a mature person. Here, she looks like a teenage, 18-year-old, basically.
I think what you're really keying on is her confusion and vulnerability.
Well, also her skin hasn't had all the. Her skin's really like young looking, right? Like 18-year-old. Stretchy.
I nurture my skin.
I'm 35 now, turning 36, so I know I don't have that.
He just moisturizes.
I'm already getting bags under my eyes.
Well, then moisturize.
Anger causes wrinkles.
Yeah.
I like how the Raven is assimilating her.
Well, she's regressing a little bit.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because she even says here, then the men came. So, like, from a child's point of view, even though she knows what they are, and they went after her dad.
7, release the force field.
It's like somebody who survives a violent homicide of their entire family. And, like, they were hiding in the closet. Well, in this case, she gets taken away by the murderers.
I feel like they should have had like 7 like grow and develop a little bit more and then save this for like a final episode, like one of the last 3 or 4.
Yeah, but if we never got to know who like Annika Hansen was, the character would not have been developed enough for us to like.
The captain is just sleeping in 7's bed to see what.
Which is weird, Kathy.
It's like if your teacher, if you come home and your teacher is just like in your bed.
Highly advanced board.
It's like her pet cat ran away. Okay, like she's trying to figure out where the cat might be hiding.
She has to get in the mindset of the Borg.
When a pet cat or dog runs away, you don't go lay in their bed to see what they were thinking when they left.
You need to form the psychic link, you dummy.
I mean, when my cat ran away, I went biking around the whole town asking the stray cats if they've seen my cat. Did you see the new girl?
Did you show him a picture of the cat?
No, but I was crying and I was like, do you know where my cat is?
And the cat looked at you like you're crazy?
Yeah, they did. I was crazy. So that's why Catherine Janeway is in 7's alcove regenerating, even though she has no business regenerating. By the way, the Raven.
I find it interesting that 7 would describe something like that as powerful. It's very flowery for her.
Maybe 7 of 9 really wishes she had a beak.
The Raven is, of course, the famous poem written by Edgar Allan Poe. So, speaking of dark motifs in American literature.
Quoth the Raven, resistance is futile.
Nevermore.
Yeah.
And it has elements of the Telltale Heart in here, too.
A raven.
You can hear the telltale heart thumping right now.
No, that's the warp core. It's supposed to do that. Wait, why? Kathy, what do you know that we don't? Does she know that Seven ship was called the Raven?
I think she read Seven's file, remember? And like that's what came up. But if you remember also
what
Data with the anvil.
She knew who the ship would belong to.
Like, why did Data have an anvil in his dream? Like, they would all had a symbol, right? Like,
feels weird to describe it as lunar surface when it's a jungle. It's correct. It is a lunar surface.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Endor was a lunar surface.
No, Endor was California.
I can confirm. It's lovely.
Tatooine was Tunisia.
Ryan, have you met an Ewok?
I've seen bears. They're kind of like Ewoks.
So Tuvok.
Sorry, continue.
Tuvok is so sweet here. He's like, I'm gonna go with you to the service to figure out your childhood trauma.
Well, he's a father.
He's a family man. He's sensitive. He understands.
He's very sensitive.
Plus, Vulcans aren't emotionless. They're just really in touch with themselves.
Yeah. But yeah, Janeway too, she's very empathetic. Fifth planet. Fifth rock from the sun.
Oh my god. It just started raining outside. It hasn't rained here in months. We're entering the wet season again. It's lovely.
Get a boat.
Here we're dealing with we're gonna get snow soon.
Oh hey, it's the planet.
Just kidding. Thanks to global warming, we're gonna have toasty weather into late October.
That means kids can go trick-or-treating without a winter coat on.
And it means we're all gonna die in a climate apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
It means no
kids can go trick-or-treating without winter clothing, but they'll need to
just like
wear concrete shoes so they don't blow away.
God. It's a matte painting.
It's only a model.
It's not even a model. It's a 2D representation of a model.
Man, they did a good job.
So I know this sounds really stupid, but how come she doesn't recognize the outside of her own ship?
Because she
never saw it from the outside, because then she would have suffocated and died. It was in space.
That was your childhood home, Annika. Man, those strings are going crazy in the background music.
Shout out to 7 of 9's parents for taking her daughter out of public schools and sending her to the Alpha Quadrant.
This is a good Halloween episode.
Is there some sort of galactic treaty that stipulates that all homing beacons have to have blinking lights on them when they're active?
There's nowhere to run or hide, Mom and Dad. You already brought them here.
Consequences of their actions, it cannot be.
On some level, though, remember Marie Curie, science requires a lot of personal risk to yourself. The unknown.
This isn't just taking a risk, this is suicide.
Yeah.
Sorry, what now?
Because her parents, right? They went on this mission outside of Starfleet's approval, because Starfleet would never approve of something so dangerous as to venture into completely unknown space. But Marie Curie dying of radiation poisoning and her husband, science requires some sacrifice.
Yeah, but you don't drag your kids into a war zone.
Well, they didn't know it was a war zone. They just knew that.
They saw like the transwarp conduits and open up, and they were like, "Let's go in there. Who knows where it goes? But we're taking it."
Like, there's a non-zero chance that it literally goes into a parallel dimension that is literally the Judeo-Christian hell. And they said, sure, why not?
See? She admires her father's very important experiments.
Where did they even find a cube?
Oh, God.
I think they were like tornado chasers, and they just decided to go right for it. They were idiots. I don't know.
7 was assimilated long before the Battle of Wolf 359, before the Federation had official contact with the Borg. Long before Q-Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are pretty much the first known humans to be assimilated.
I don't understand the premise of her family going to study the Borg before the Borg were even known by the Federation in the timeline. If you look at it,
they just didn't tell anybody.
In a later episode, they didn't know.
But the Federation knew about their mission.
They went unauthorized. They went off.
But they knew about. But they knew about. Look, they knew that they were going to study the Borg. But
no,
at
not
that point,
the Borg. Just
the Enterprise hadn't even
space.
encountered the Borg yet.
Because Beta. Yeah.
No, for example, specifically went to study the Borg.
There were no Borg at the time. They were just going.
It's explained in dialogue explicitly that they went specifically to study the Borg, and it was in its point in time before the Enterprise even encountered the Borg for the first time. So it's like, what the heck?
I feel like they were just sailing into the Delta Quadrant, just exploring.
No, on Stardate 32611.4, the Hansons took the Raven on a field mission to locate and study a rumored race of cybernetic beings from beyond the neutral zone, known to the people of the Beta Quadrant as the Borg.
So in Star Trek 6, they're still exploring Beta Quadrant, and Borg space actually encompasses Delta Quadrant and Beta Quadrant.
Oh my God! It's not even a quarter. They literally own half the galaxy.
Yeah. Did you know that, Robo? Borg were
in the Beta Quadrant? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they had to be. Voice in video.
I guess, yeah, if they read Captain Archer's book and they watched Zephram Cochrane's crazy speech about cybernetic beings from the future, that's what they were looking for.
Yeah. Also,
I guess.
Also the Elorians, right? So there would have been rumors about that.
Yeah, from these race of really long-lived people. They're like, yeah, we got destroyed by the Borg.
They saw rumors of an advanced cybernetic race from an ancient television show called The View.
It's funny because
we'll have to see Whoopi Goldberg on The View just bust out all of her obscure Star Trek knowledge.
It reminds me of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. So rumors of a dinosaur haven in the Amazonian jungle, especially at a time when we hadn't explored the Amazon, and so we still find uncontacted tribes in the Amazon. So for all we know, in the 1800s when Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was writing, there may have been dinosaurs in South America. So it's kind of that.
We know for certain that the dinosaurs are not a thing, and that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a really big sucker for pseudoscience stuff. The dude believed in fairies.
He did. He got tricked by cardboard cutouts of fairies.
Yeah.
Okay, but Jules Verne, for example, when he wrote about Journey to the Center of the Earth, people believed there were people on the inside of the Earth. We didn't know about molten iron cores. So the world was still unexplored before satellite geography and modern technology.
Janeway finally figured it out. Just go to warp. Just leave.
I'm pretty sure actually we figured out the Earth is full of molten metal in pretty soon in the 19th century.
Yeah, but Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was writing in the 1800s.
I'm looking. I'm gonna go Wikipedia on you.
And also, tectonic plates weren't confirmed until the mid 20th century.
I mean, we only had the Africa and South America thing because if you line them up together, they look pretty similar.
Right, but also mid 20th century, tectonic plates were not taught in schools until like the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It was still like a fringe theory.
Which is wild to me.
I mean, we only discovered the Milky Way galaxy in 1925. So
I know, but
well,
it's
I mean,
like
discovered. I mean, it's in the sky. You can look at
the
it.
Milky Way.
All right. Journey to the Center of the Earth was originally published in like 1864.
Okay.
But the Hollow Earth was conclusively disproved in 1774.
Thank you.
Good job, Jules.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. You're writing for a public, right? You're not writing for a scientific audience. So fiction writers like Jules Verne and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle were playing off of popular ignorance. But not only ignorance, like go ahead. Okay.
But why would anyone assume that Earth was hollow? I mean, it would seem like the default assumption is it's a rock.
I mean, no. It's more like, why would you assume there's a molten core in the middle? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, but what I was saying was, Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea mentions like a giant squid and stuff. So, like, we had some kind of idea, but there's rumors of like all these creatures, and so we operate on rumors.
All right, so everyone queue up the next episode, Scientific Method, which is a very subtle and well-executed metaphor.
Rumor has it.
Old Star Trek never got in your face with its political messaging. It was always so careful to let you make your own conclusions.
Except for the healthcare one.
And the animal testing one, and the war one, and the other war one, and the nuclear war one. Star Trek's not a subtle show.
No.
Star Trek best its best political commentary is just like, screw it, we're gonna go super cringe.
A Private Little War and A Taste of Armageddon, I would argue, are some of the best political writing for TV.
Alright. Wait, what was the first one?
A Private Little War, which is the
Gangster Planet? Actually, hold that thought and press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Release the thought.
So Private Little War is the one about essentially Vietnam. No, it was about Korea. Vietnam didn't happen yet.
The original series then?
Yep. And then A Taste of Armageddon was literally about the civilian population being separated from war, not conceptualizing how bad it is.
Oh. That's a good topic.
And then Captain Kirk blew up their war simulator and is like, now you have to fight for real.
No,
and then he just fucked off.
No, it's better.
It's
better. He blew up one of the major disintegrators. So he says, if you want people to die, you're gonna have to send them out yourself.
He blew up the computer that ran the simulated war.
He did both.
Yeah, he did
blew up the incinerators and then the computer at the very end.
Yeah, and then he left. He's like, well, my work here is done.
Man, that is a that's a PD violation if I ever saw one. God bless
Yeah,
him.
Starfleet doesn't really believe in the Prime Directive unless it's convenient to them. Yeah, we could save that planet from an asteroid, but that's just so much work. We got another concert to go to.
Let this small child and pen pals die of fiery volcanic death.
Volcano time.
So how come they already got rid of Seven's silver suit?
Yeah, because she's been in the brown one for 2 episodes now.
Yeah, I don't know. I miss this. I like the silver suit better, and the blue
is
and
this
silver
one also
suit
good
is
for her
nice.
skin?
The brown one is just kind of
My
bland.
skin.
Yeah. I would argue her assuming or impersonating an officer in Relativity was like the best outfit that they had.
Everyone always looks better in a uniform every time.
They all do. To Paul, Deanna.
So the real reason is he has a date with Balana, right?
Mhm.
I just like to point out that like Balana's half Klingon, and whenever like Jadzia and Worf did it, they had to like go to the hospital afterwards. So I feel like
Yeah.
the doctor is, kind of knows what's going on here.
Maybe
That was
that's
a
the reason
long
why he's so
hallway.
against him right now. He's like, you are occupying 20% of all the injuries.
Yeah.
Just walk over. It's not a big deal. You're dating. It's fine. Relax.
Yeah. I think he just wants to make a dramatic entrance.
God, that's a precise transport.
Imagine if he was like 20 feet off and his arm just went through the wall.
Yes, that is what you're supposed to say. Janeway would have been cool with it. She'd be fine.
Tuvok, you only need to sleep once every month.
The day where he canceled on her, there was nothing even happening. Oh, Jesus. There's nothing even happening because it was off screen, and things don't happen off screen.
Is it bad that I'm mad that they didn't show us like actual musculature? Because that would have been so great for like Klingon note taking. Again, that probably would have been too graphic for TV.
Do we know? Oh, wait, no, I remember who's watching them now. It's like, is that 7 already? No, that's later.
This is the evil science episode.
Yep. This is the animal testing episode.
Pretty sure you can find some YouTube videos of clips of this that are like, if animals could talk. And yeah, it's just, no, we should no longer enslave animals for food purposes. Or makeup purposes.
Do you think they have
Delicious. Sorry.
Okay, so you know that meme where someone took a picture of a PETA billboard and they say, where do you draw the line between pet and food? And someone just drew a line
Here.
about here.
I saw a version of that where it said like normal times, and then it was like economic downturn, and then like absolute survival.
Yeah.
There was like 3 thresholds.
Ryan.
Let me post a picture in the general chat real quick.
It depends where you're from, because if you're from France, the horse meat's okay, and if you're from Far East, I'm pretty sure the dog and cat is just fine too. So.
Ryan, if like all the stream people were like on like the raft of the Medusa, and we had to like eat people as our leader, like who would have to be eaten first?
Who would we
I know that
eat
sounds
first?
kind of messed up, but eat the woman first.
Who would we eat first, Ryan? You have to make these decisions. You're in charge. You have to make.
I would. Okay, no, this is an easy decision. I would eat Marks first because he's muted, so he can't protest.
That checks out.
Super easy. What's the problem?
All right, who's next though?
Of the people who are here right now, why would you ask me that? You know what? I'm gonna hate you for asking.
All right. What if I tell you I've been consuming large amounts of like really unhealthy foods, or like Like, what if I say I'm full of like microplastics?
I mean, we all are. They
Or
just found
cadmium?
they just found microplastics in the human brain during an autopsy.
What if I've spent several decades building up a tolerance to that poison?
Look, you
from
can't
Princess
Bilbo's
Bride?
trolls me here. I've chosen we're eating you.
All right, who's next?
God, I'm not going to rank everybody by eatability.
Yeah, rank us by edibility, Ryan. You have to make the tough calls.
I've only ever
I
seen
know.
one of you.
I know how to dry brine and get a perfect Maillard reaction on my steaks.
Okay, I'm eating
whether
Robo
they
next.
be beef or human. Why would you do that? I know how to cook the steaks, the human steaks. Has anyone here ever played DayZ? Has anyone here ever played DayZ?
I've seen a Daisy.
In DayZ, like at the beginning of DayZ, you could not eat people, but the community asked, and eventually they added the feature of being able to like skin and butcher people and eat the meat. And but when you do that, your character, like the more human meat you eat, like you get like the giggles, like just random giggles, like your character just starts laughing like maniacally. So like it makes it harder to try and like stalk and sneak up on people.
That's a interesting caveat.
And also you have bloody hands, like you can't your hands are always covered in blood.
Tom, this isn't the place for it.
It's like someone pointed out that like in TNG they just like sit on like Worf's command consoles, which controls like weapons and stuff.
Right.
And,
well, I posted that meme.
Like, freaking, like warp core console.
It must be capacitive touchscreens.
If we can't tell the difference between an intentional press and a butt dial by the 24th century, we have no business being in space.
No, we don't.
They're just like imagine you're just like making out like on the control board for like a nuclear reactor, and it's like beep 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 beep. All right, that'll be 750 Chernobyls.
With no pickles, please.
Lies, Tuvok.
Tuvok, if you don't tell the captain, you can join us.
Yikes.
I mean,
He's a
Ryza
married
exists.
man.
I think. Yeah.
Why are they even keeping it a secret? Why would anybody care?
In a future season,
years away from. Sorry, Robo, you're saying.
In a upcoming season, there's an episode where the doctor is away, and so Tom is doing all the medical stuff, and Tuvok starts to have his ponfar. So Paris makes him a simulation of his wife on the holodeck.
We're all familiar with that episode.
Yeah.
Wait, then why didn't that work with Vork? Do you think he was just messed up in the head, or do you think he didn't use it?
It was probably because he had already bonded with B'Elanna, right? At that point. How are we gonna?
Wait, what if someone else needs to use the turbo lift? How many do we have?
A lot.
I'm just imagining some poor ensign who's sitting there just waiting for a turbo lift, carrying a heavy object.
Yeah, and it's just he's like holding like a 750-pound replicator, and the light on the turbo lift. It's just like this blinking down arrow.
Someone's trying to clean out the holodecks, and they have to ferry those filter tubes.
Yeah.
I hate the depiction of the turbo lifts on Discovery. It's ridiculous. It looks like a Wonkavator.
Oh, I hate it so much. Yeah,
you mean
dumb.
The inside of the ship.
You mean the roller coaster?
Yeah, it's like the bowels of the ship. The area between the decks of the ship is bigger than the ship itself. What the?
No, you see, because those scenes are in the future where everything is programmable matter.
No,
they just removed all the internals.
I heard that they had to like rewrite it at the last minute.
It doesn't work like that, right?
Be inside like a space station or an ore processing plant or something. I don't know.
Nope, It was distinctly either in the Enterprise or Discovery.
It was
stupid. It was in Discovery, but I think
bad.
that was only after they found Starfleet in the future.
I don't think so, dude. I think it was
far
before.
future.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it was
no,
the
no,
future.
no.
It was like third season, wasn't it?
I don't think it was when they were in the future.
No, absolutely was. It absolutely was. Yeah.
We gotta find this. Somebody find the exact scene.
The scene was them fist fighting the Orion lady, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right.
And she's a future
No, they
lady.
had other scenes while they were going through the turbo lifts in Discovery.
But that was the first turbo lift space scene.
In
Discovery Season 3 finale, That Hope Is You Part 2.
Discovery Turbo Lift Caverns explained. All right, there's a video from
It's a
another
35-minute
YouTube
video essay. Prepare to watch
14.
someone's persona stand and face the camera with their arms crossed.
47 decks. Discovery is gigantic, apparently.
Oh, that's cool. Did they just give him arthritis?
I think so, yes. I think they're aging him.
Oh, somebody found the picture, Ryan. There you go. Apocalyptic Afterscape.
Yep, he's just old now. Wow, he's really... Jesus.
Was this before or after the discovery of telomeres?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, it's the 90s. I don't know.
I think I do remember telomeres being discovered, so could well be that hadn't been.
I want to get like one of those experimental telomere lengthening surgeries that like makes me immune to aging, and so then like when all of like the billionaire vampires are like sitting in their castle, I'll be there too, and I'll be like the voice of the people.
1975 to 1977, some telomeres were discovered. Do you mean when the human genome was sequenced?
No, the discovery and then subsequent purpose of telomeres.
Telomeres? What's that?
They're the end caps for your DNA.
For your the chromosomes. So there's a telomere on either end, and there's a centromere, and we have we have one fewer set of chromosomes than other great apes, and the hypothesis was that for us to continue to function, having one fewer set of chromosomes, we had to have a set of chromosomes that were fused together. So when they did the Human Genome Project and they sequenced all the DNA, they found a chromosome that had a telomere, a centromere, a telomere, a centromere, a telomere, and they're like, well, there it is, it's fused together.
Yeah, but fruit flies have more chromosomes than we do. They have like hundreds of chromosomes.
Well, then you should welcome your new fruit fly overlords. I picked them out of the air like Mr. Miyagi with chopsticks and smush them.
So I saw a crazy YouTube video where someone took the blade out of a razor and attached a string to it and decapitated flies while they were flying.
And their bodies would keep flying?
Yeah, it was just wild.
Is Neelix going to die in this episode?
No, he's going to look like his grandpa.
They activated recessive genes.
Yeah, and so when we in the 90s when we knew about DNA and we hadn't actually encoded the genome, we didn't realize that like there was so much junk DNA. And now we realize though that junk DNA isn't really junk. It actually affects the activation of the chromosomes that are actively part of our system. It controls gene expression in ways that we can't even begin to understand. For example, what causes someone to have schizophrenia when they have the genes for it? Because you can have the genes for lung cancer and not actually get it.
Yeah.
So
And then there are also like activities and whatnot which affect gene expression, such as if you exercise more, you actually generate red blood cells quicker.
And if you go to transwarp, you mutate into a salamander. Yeah.
I think the preservers just put that in there just to mess with us. And you turn into a salamander. Why is he hobbling?
He's 90 years old.
God, now he smells even worse.
The scene is great. The scene has instantly become my favorite one in the entire episode.
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is though, old people, the reason they have that smell is because their skin produces more sebum, which is just this like natural oily resin thing. And especially like in your hair, it develops more in your hair follicles, and it's kind of protective. So we're all going to be there at some point. Yeah, okay, this scene is ridiculous because they're both comparing their own infirmity to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is a genius idea.
I've got arthritis.
Although that's why he was walking funny.
You know, like they get hunched over because their spine has a curvature. That's what's happening.
At least we were seeing the extent of Chakotay's tattoo.
No, we didn't. We didn't see the full extent yet.
So this
Not
is like the
convinced
TNG
by his
episode.
tattoo. Q's is bigger. Therefore, it's better. Does his tattoo also mean alien civilization, or was that... Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's a double helix.
There's a barcode on it.
Mm-hmm.
Gattaca.
That's not really what molecules look like, but all right.
You know, we were discussing 7 of 9. Oh, there is a barcode on it.
But if those are molecules, how did they get subatomic ink?
It's a tracking tag.
So we were discussing the last episode if 7's childhood story should have been revealed so early on in season 4 of her plot. But you know, one of the things is though she has this tough exterior, and she also looks like a monster with all those mechanical body parts. So to know that she's just a scared little girl inside makes you a little bit more at ease with her.
Yeah.
She's an orphan too, poor baby.
Little orphan Annika.
Yeah.
Little orphan Annika.
So you want to know something really funny?
I don't see how that's funny, but okay.
I know 3 Annika Hansens, excluding this one, and one of them is my maternal cousin.
Wow.
Where do all these Annika Hansens come from?
Minnesota.
Hansen factory, obviously.
Minnesota, and they were all blonde and slim, which was really funny.
Do they all watch Star Trek?
No.
Are any of them big Trekkies? Have you told any of them about this?
No, but I'm like, oh, Annika Hansen, like the Borg.
You should totally like spill the beans on this.
I'm not.
Oh, hey, Annika, subunit of Jeanette Hansen.
Or you should like see if you can like kind of get them all together and like have them like fight.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
So in a Star Trek role-playing group I used to be part of, we used to have Trek trivia like every weeknight, every Thursday night. And so I know how to spell Annika Hansen in my sleep. Like I will type up the answer in like 2 seconds or less because it was like the most common trivia question. Easy points. What was 7 of 9's real name? ANNIKAHENSEN. And you have to spell it right, otherwise the bot wouldn't catch it correctly. So people will be spelling Hansen all kinds of ways, or Annika with only one N. No. It's Annika Hansen with 2 E's.
Okay, but what did Annika Hansen eat as a child that annoyed her aunt in a cute way?
What?
Strawberries, dude. She ate all the strawberries.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I think that was only in Bliss.
Yeah, she does like strawberries. I remember that.
It was Bliss, wasn't it? Where that was revealed, right?
Maybe. I just remember she was on a phone call with a relative on Earth.
Yeah, it was Bliss. It was a hallucination.
No, that was real. That part was real. That was a real phone call. I think you're thinking of a different phone call with a relative. It was when all the characters were drawing lots to see who got to contact their family first, because there was limited bandwidth.
Yeah.
There's 11 minutes a day.
In those days. Yeah.
And she talks to her aunt.
And her aunt was all, "You better pay me back for all the strawberries."
In our moneyless society.
Yeah. It's not strawberry-less, or it will be with Annika there.
So the doctor is Da Vinci now?
He doesn't even look like Gimli.
That's a horrible drawing.
Well,
looks like
trying.
It looks like something from a middle school art fair.
Hey, it's better than what I could do.
It's not better than what I could do.
I bet it is.
You
can make a picture of that.
Make a picture of that woman?
Yeah. Make us a drawing.
I don't really have the time, but I did.
Typical excuse.
You know, out of all the things about the holodeck that I love if you just pull out the right panel, you just see wires.
Each holodeck program has that like hidden access port behind a painting or a rock. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, speaking of the Voyager documentary, I did eventually receive that mug. It's okay. It's fine.
What? Can you give me a comprehensive list of all the fluids you've put in that mug?
No.
Can I buy it from you for $30?
No.
I mean, you know,
do they still offer them?
I don't think so.
No. They've already raised the money.
But I mean, it's just a pretty basic cup. It's not very fancy. It's just a cup.
It's not made of deuterium.
It's a confusing material. It kind of feels like both plastic and aluminum.
What even is that?
Aluminum. It's a little BDSM device.
It looks like a bridal scold.
For horses?
No. The humiliation device for nagging women.
Oh, that thing. Okay, gotcha. That was called a nagging scold's bridle. Or yeah.
Do I want to understand this conversation?
It was a New England punishment for women who talk back to their husbands. They had to put like a contraption in their mouth that would cause them extreme pain, because women were always supposed to be subordinate to their husbands.
She has to hold completely still during this, so that they don't realize that she can detect them.
I know this sounds kind of messed up, but wouldn't the best thing to do just to seize her by the throat, thrash her around a bit?
Kill her?
Yes.
Break her neck?
You want 7 of 9 to do a gator death roll?
No, I'm laughing at the headgear.
No, you're right. Thrashing around is what an alligator does, basically, to its prey.
Guys, look, it's the Virtual Boy Ultimate Classic System.
That's some big lettuce.
That's bok choy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's white with green leaf.
God, that's some big bok choy.
So this is kind of like the game in TNG where everyone is wearing that little contraption over their head and be controlled by aliens. But except it's invisible.
But less creepy.
Way more creepy, actually.
Yeah, it's actually like here's the thing. The game is just an addiction. We're violating your autonomy and rewriting your DNA.
By the way, so this is what Janeway looks like when she doesn't have coffee?
Did they just make her immune to the effects of caffeine?
They're messed up.
Oh no.
It's like every time Picard asks for Earl Grey, he gets like cold iced tea.
He gets sweetened Louisiana Dr. Bones' iced tea.
Do you think
Mike's hard.
Yes, Tuvok, flog them. Do it. Enforce discipline.
This is where you know she's losing it because feel like
God, if Odo was chief of security here, he would have meant that.
Yeah. Mr. I don't work with I never worked with the Cardassians versus I might have killed 3 or 4 people illegally.
No, it was legal in the Cardassian system.
You're right, that's the distinction.
So what's it called? Narcanon?
Narcolone?
Yeah, so what it does Naxalone. What it does is it blocks heroin from heroin receptors.
Narcan, that's the brand name.
Yeah, so it stops heroin receptors in your brain from receiving heroin. So it's actually a really good way to like revive somebody because it resets their opiate.
OG them.
Yeah. So they basically blocked Janeway's caffeine receptors and they're really messing with her.
Oh, those sick bastards.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Janeway, have you tried ibuprofen? Or like anything other than coffee?
I do have a question. Do you think they're allowed to replicate over-the-counter medications, or do you think they have to go explicitly to sickbay for that?
I feel like the replicator could administer like just the right amount of medication so it's properly dosing you, right?
I imagine the replicator will give you over-the-counter medicine, but only so much.
Tylenol and Advil has already been banned. Those are NSAIDs.
I just had a sudden realization that I haven't watered my peace lily in a while. How's it doing? Little brown.
This is why I don't keep plants.
Well, it was for my. It has sentimental meaning.
He got it in recognition of Hot Fuzz, his favorite movie.
You have feelings, Robo?
It is a good movie.
It is.
Feelings? Well, probably not feelings that humans would recognize.
Why don't you just 3D print a new one?
3D print.
I mean, plastic plants are pretty cool.
Plant. The Doctor and Seven would have been a good couple. I mean, it just would not.
In one of the futures, they are a couple, aren't they?
No. No, they weren't. It was literally just like, "Hi, this is Joe, my husband, and I am a normal human woman."
You settled on Joe? I was going to jokingly suggest that Seven just blow up the ship, but no, Janeway's going to do that later. It's fine.
Yeah.
In Picard,
she drives it into like a pulsar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Star Trek Picard, Seven and Rafi get past security by like, "Hey, can you take a picture of us? This is our like couples like."
They just wanted to post it to Instagram.
You're gonna take a portrait, an image, a hollow image of us. Picture. Photo.
Is it bad that I would love to see a cadet or an officer attempt to live a 21st century life and realize how shitty it is compared to their life? I have to pay taxes? What's this?
Pay?
A cadet? What kind of cadet?
Money?
I can go to the hospital if I ever need assistance. You can't afford that. What do you mean?
It's like when they try to rob Ruffy. It's like, yeah, give me all your money. She's good one.
I think she was actually kind of charmed by it.
Yeah, she was.
Like, how rustic and quaint.
And then she takes all of his money. Like, he's just a drug dealer anyway.
Aren't they kind of Okampan looking?
Yeah. With like
assimilate her, and you will know what she knows.
Oh, this is also like what the Federation does to the Sona in Insurrection, or the Mintakans. You just have like silent observation on them.
I mean, in a Star Trek adventure game, I'm actually playing an anthropologist. And I'm actually saying deadass to other players, yes, I'm an anthropologist. What I don't tell them is that I'm actually studying them.
Yay. Are you the villain?
You know, it's funny because...
no, that's actually... I'm meant to be kind of like a pseudo red herring in the game.
I've taken like a lot of sociology classes. Not even like for myself. I was just helping people with papers, and so it's a thing in the sociology field. Like if you want to go into a community, you can just tell them like for example, if you want to figure out how a drug dealing economy works, you know, you can befriend a group of people, a gang, and like get to know them over a year. And like your sociology paper is just, you know, making friends with a criminal organization and getting to know their operations.
Wasn't that a History Channel TV show called like Drugs or Gangland or something, where they're interviewing like cartel members?
Yeah, Drug Nation.
There was an episode of Star Trek about that, but it was Jake interning with Quark.
Yeah. But sociologists and anthropologists, they just like hang out with you and just observe you, and people are okay with that. That's how they do their research.
Hey, what are we guys doing today?
Do they explicitly say, I am studying you, or are they like assuming a different identity?
You do
no.
So you do.
Criminal syndicates are famous patrons of the arts, and they love anthropology.
You can't just come up to them like that, but at some point you do let them know, like, look, I'm a researcher, and you know I'm not going to do anything illegal, but I am like I do want to know about your world.
And it's important to say to them, don't worry, I'm not a cop. Therefore, that way they know they can trust you.
They have to trust you first, otherwise you wind up dead. But yeah. But it doesn't have to be always so nefarious. Like one of them was West Indian babysitters in Brooklyn for like really rich white families. And like, well, what's it like to like all the babysitters in a particular neighborhood are of one ethnicity? What's that like? Like, why do you think, you know, so the women have attitudes like, well, we think we're naturally good babysitters. Our mom made us, you know, change diapers since we were 2 years old of our younger siblings.
We made you immune to coffee.
She's about to kill her.
So I understand that you really can't put pressure on someone's neck safely.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been such a clutch moment if she actually did.
Just started choking the alien?
Yeah, you need to put the fear of God into them.
What do you need the fear of God with on a starship?
But I honestly think diplomacy does not work unless you have the threat of violence to accompany it.
You're kind
Peace is the
preferable option.
Peace is the threat of war. Ever
Carry a big
present
stick.
War.
No, for sure. For political science, we study a German military tactician, von Clausewitz. He wrote like a 1,000-page book called On War in the late 19th century, and his most famous maxim is war is diplomacy by other means. You
Yeah.
you go to war to achieve certain tactical ends, and it's because you failed at diplomacy. But you will end the war once you achieve something close to that.
This is why I'd be a terrible Starfleet captain, because I would just say, all right, 7, here's a gun, shoot them all.
I mean, Janeway is like that, because I remember my favorite line by Janeway is, "I don't respond well to threats," which means she's going to blow you out of the sky for even thinking about talking to her that way. She really doesn't respond well to threats.
Yeah, this does feel like murder more than scientific testing.
Yep.
Kind of messed up.
Oh, God.
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Oh, they're actually doing decent compressions. That's good.
It's not helping, but...
It's not, but, like, at least they're, like, the right speed.
The right thing. Yeah.
No, I don't think we do the breathing
Staying
thing
alive,
anymore.
Staying
Staying
alive.
alive.
You guys are both the
Yes. Janeway's signature move. Threats of suicide.
So I'm trained as a CNA. I have BLS training and then TMA training.
What's CNA?
Certified nursing assistant.
And you're not supposed to actually like breathe in people's mouths when you're doing CPR anymore, right?
No, you can still do that.
Are you supposed to do it? I thought it was like mostly carbon
No,
dioxide.
it's just if you feel like it.
Well, it doesn't. Here's the thing. It doesn't hurt. But they do stress nowadays that it's really the compressions that keep the blood flowing.
And it's different when you have a baby to do CPR.
More likely, they're trying to intimidate us. She can do both.
I mean, Picard does this too. And so does Kirk when the Klingons that threaten to take it over. It's what every rational Starfleet captain does. I just...
This is literally what they wanted to see out of the captain, and she's performing it. Wait, why are you destroying your ship?
She's going all Kim Jong-il on them. I will fire 20 nuclear missiles.
We made her more aggressive, and they're surprised that she's acting like this.
They could have just watched earlier seasons of the show, then they would have known what she does when she crossed against the difficult circumstances.
She's a cornered animal. But at this point, we also know Starfleet has the metagenic shielding that Beverly's Dr. Beverly Crusher's science symposium doctor invented. So,
which I would argue is a really good Star Trek episode. Period.
Amazing. Especially with Guinan. No, the one with Dr. Duran, who's dead but not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Duran.
And then you have an actual legitimate Klingon scientist.
Yeah, and you also have some murder mystery.
Please turn on the metaphasic shielding.
So they lost a few crew members on Voyager, but they also took quite a few of the aliens with them. So it's a good trade.
They took
at least
2.
half of the aliens.
3.
The whole alien ship exploded.
Yeah, and it disintegrated. But they were like barnacles on a whale. This is actually more like that TNG episode where Riker and Troy and Worf are on the holodeck and they're recreating the chair, and there's aliens kidnapping them from the other dimension.
Schism.
Yeah, and it was Schism, right? Very good name too. And we never hear from those aliens again. They just float away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were stuck in a subspace domain, and the humans were aware of them, so they had to change the experiment.
So here too, like they were in a different phase of matter, and we couldn't see.
Oh, it's the episode where Captain Picard gets like classified, and he gets replaced by a doppelganger who's like just super chill, and he like goes to 10
Sings
forward
with his
and
crew.
like and he sings with his crew.
Oh,
and like Captain Picard
That's not my
realizes
captain.
that
Katarian
alien, like one of the aliens who's masquerading as like a Starfleet cadet, knows like top secret information.
Yeah, no. What she said was the Mintakans, and
that episode was
Primitive
called
Vulcans.
Allegiance.
Proto-Vulcans.
yeah.
Starfleet has classified the
episode where Picard
Korkorolai
is
plague
kidnapped.
as secret.
Made into a god. So
You
here
should
they
have known she
Katarian
was an
Merlot.
imposter
So
because she's
here
a
they
bully,
realized-
but she has hair.
Well, he doesn't like address it, so I think they either the females have hair, or it's a recessive trait.
Maybe her father was a
I don't-
tribble.
We never see this vest, I believe, on Paris, and this lovely purple tunic on Bolano.
But why are they still wearing their comm badges
You always
if they're
have
off
to.
duty? Never mind.
Is this where they realized that their entire relationship might be based on the fact that these aliens were messing with their hormones and making them, horny?
Oh look! Oh wow! He's interrupting. Little jealous, Harry. Inviting yourself in.
He was about to invite himself in.
He just hates the idea of Tom being happy with someone else.
They're like jilted
There we
lovers,
go.
and I love it.
They ready to go public? I always feel weird seeing Balana in regular human clothing.
It is weird.
It's like just wearing a dress. It doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I kind of like it. I kind of wish they got more into civvies.
That is her normal hair, right? It's just the clothes that make it look weird somehow.
Yeah.
Although, in the first season, didn't she have like a braid at one point?
I think it was this season. I think it was just a few episodes ago. She had like one braid. That was just like a few strands of hair.
I think maybe that's when she was trying to go to the Klingon rite of confirmation. I mean, they were trapped in the black of space for good
12
12
hours. Yeah.
So, like, that's where their romance started in a way, but they were also colleagues before that.
I'm pretty sure their romance started when Balana assaulted him.
Yeah. No, granted,
Yeah. When she was going through the Ponfar, yeah.
Man, out of context, it is such a weird statement.
It started
It's Star Trek.
before that.
No. Oh, this experiment? Okay. I gotta use that on my next relationship. Which will be in the next century.
Okay, that was Star Trek for sure. That was a TV show, and it's over. It's done.
It ended with the kiss.
Star Trek, we're finally gonna watch Babylon 5.
Never.
Kiss.
We're finally gonna watch I don't know.
Rings of
SpongeBob?
Power. That's
That was an interracial kiss, by the way. So
Rings
Star
of
Trek.
Power. What about House of the Dragon?
Interracial kissing is great.
I don't think we can get through the censors for episode 4 unless we like heavily
House
blur that out.
of the, what do you mean? He
They always
already
blur it
blurs it out.
All right, oh yeah, because it's different.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Episode 4 is very good in my
You should
opinion.
watch Takeshi's
You
Castle.
are my sunshine,
No.
my only son.
Be silent.
It's like I
Okay.
vote Takeshi chat. This will just now become a Takeshi's Castle themed YouTube channel.
Look, dude,
I
you
have no
can
idea
start
what that is.
whatever channel type you
Takeshi's
want.
Castle is the best TV show ever created, even better than Star Trek Voyager.
It cannot
was
be.
it was the original like obstacle wipeout show. It was created in like 1986 Japan, and it had like a plot where like Beat Takeshi built a giant fortress, and this other dude recruits like 100 randos from across Japan and like leads them in an assault on it where they have to like go through ridiculous challenges.
Wow,
And
I didn't
then,
realize
like,
it had a plot. That's kind of impressive.
and then like in between them, like Takeshi and like his first lieutenant like are in like a control room, and like he like hits people with his little fan, and then like they go around a corner and like look at a tiny little miniature of the next obstacle. It's fantastic.
Just in general, what is up with Japan
English
game
dub
shows?
that Comedy Central ran, MXC. That was pretty funny.
You gotta watch the original Japanese episode.
I should watch the original.
Super hard to find, but they are the definitive way to watch the show. Like you know, the obstacles are one thing, but like Takeshi hitting people with a fan is the icing on the cake.
Oh, it's American Ninja Warrior, but with plot.
Yeah, it's like American Ninja Warrior and Wipeout and all these other shows are just cheap attempts to try and adapt the Takeshi's Castle for U.S. audiences. They've all failed.
It's closest to Wipeout, isn't it? Like American Ninja Warrior is a little bit more dignified somehow.
Wait. American Ninja Lawyer?
Warrior.
That sounds pretty wizard.
Amazing concept, though. Yes.
It's either a medieval fantasy law series, or that's a Klingon daytime,
yes.
or that's Klingon daytime TV.
It's like Better Call Saul, except he's like an assassin.
Remember when Chris Farley did that movie? What was it called? Like White Ninja or something like that?
Oh god.
Have Chris Farley be
unfortunate.
the Chris Ninja movie. Beverly Hills Ninja.
What?
Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley, where he's a ninja.
Okay. Hey, guess what? The stream's over. I'm going to. Oh wait, I'm on the info screen. I'm gonna press the end stream button, and then it's gonna be gone, and you can do whatever with your lives, I guess.